Well, hello, my wonderful, beautiful broskies and broskas of the Maverick Nation, and welcome back to one other, probably, hopefully last, what if, you know, in the line. I had said something about it in a video. What if Izuku was Majin Android 21, or as I'm just going to call him, Majin 21, because really, in Dragon Ball Z, the only characters that are really given names based off numbers, or just numbers, like names that are numbers, are the androids. So it would kind of be obvious that it was Android 21 that I was talking about, but like the Majin version. So just Majin 21, because even 18, like Android 18 said it in the tournament, like she just she just said her name was 18. I mean that's just adorable right there. Anyways, what if Izuku was Majin Android 21? And that's just going to be the thing. We aren't actually going to be starting out with Izuku. We're going to be starting out with something a little different. You know, there's the Nomus, right? Well, All For One is kind of working on a little bit of a project, something superior to the Nomus. Something he calls Majin 21. And its prime directive is to assist him in the demise of All Might. And so whenever All Might and All For One have their big confrontation, their big fight, you know, Majin 21's prime directive is to basically kick the shit out of All Might, like assist All For One in doing that. But Majin 21 kind of just does her job a little too well. And about exactly what Majin 21 looks like, because Majin 21, this one looks different than the actual Majin Android 21 from Fighter Z or Fighters, whatever. This one has kind of like a pure evil boo look. Like the skin is gray instead of pink, and it has kind of like whited out eyes, like like the pure evil blue eyes, and it has like the pure evil blue skin. But everything else is like regular Majin Android 21 look. So yeah, that's basically what Majin 21 looks like. Looks like the one that All For One is using to defeat All Might. But there's a problem. You see, the prime directive that Majin 21 was given to like assist All For One in kicking All Might's ass, basically like throwing him away like the trash. Majin 21 is following it a little too well, as in she has literally gotten to the point where it's like her sole objective is to like kill All Might for All For One. And All For One's like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Bad Majin 21. Bad Majin 21. I was supposed to kill him. You weaken him, and I kill him. Because, at this point, All For One kind of knows that he can't really take on All Might on solo. So that's why he even, had the idea of making Majin 21. And the reason why it's Majin 21 is because it's the 21st try at making one of these. Literally, there was like 20 other ones that all failed, that were all failures. And this one just seems to be the one that actually is worth something. Some clout. Something worth to the name. And basically, whenever Majin 21, here's, like, is a being berated by Alpha One, it, like, her creator, because Majin 21 is going to be a girl. Majin 21 is, like, hearing herself being berated by her creator, Alpha One, and she isn't liking this one bit. To the point where her, like, insane rage just, like, goes all the way to the top and, like, boils over, and she ends up taking out All For One. And so the injuries that All Might and All For One got in canon were not actually dealt, like, against each other. The injuries are a result of Majin 21. But, there's a big cover story made up about all of that so that no one knows about the existence of Majin 21. Except for All Might and All For One. Because they did not die, they just got severely injured by Majin 21. Because Majin 21 was doing her job too well with All Might, and, she just lost her shit whenever she was being berated by her own creator for doing her job too well. Like, going overtime. Basically. Going overtime. On good old Toshinori here. And so, with really no one to turn to, I mean, she basically just kicked the shit out of her creator, and All Might's, like, out. And, like, there's a bunch of pro heroes coming to, like, retrieve All Might. And, All For One, like, Kirogiri's working on warping All For One, back to their HQ. And, Majin 21 sees Kirogiri, and Kirogiri just gives Majin 21 a look like, you're not welcome with us anymore. Just gives her that look. And Majin 21 is just like, damn it. Looks like I stand alone. And it's just like that. And so Majin 21 is just out on the streets, and, just really cold and alone, until she meets someone by the last name of Midoriya. She meets someone, he says his name is Hasashi Midoriya. And basically, she's like, well, I don't think you would actually believe me if I told you my real name. And Hasashi is like, that itself is hilarious. I've seen some pretty crazy things in my lifetime, trust me. I've been all the way to America, and I've seen the heroes they have over there. They're their own, elf on a shelf worthy of ridiculous. I'll tell you that. Kind of ridiculousness. So, shoot. And, is like, Majin 21 is just like, uh, well, if you really do insist that much, then I guess my name is Majin 21. And Hasashi is just like, really? You really thought that was going to freak me out or something? Or that I thought that was going to be hilarious? I don't think it's that out of a name, to be honest. I've heard weirder. And then she's like, basically says everything about being casted out by All For One and like Kirogiri, his assistant, like because she did her job too well. However, like as Hasashi actually tells her he already knows, All Might isn't actually dead. And actually, Hasashi actually finds this kind of weird, like Majin 21 actually breathes a sigh of relief. Phew. And Hasashi's like, why are you relieved by that? I mean, if you're working with the number one villain. And Majin 21 is just like, previously working with. Now I don't know what I'm supposed to do. His assistant Kirogiri already told me that I wasn't welcome there anymore. And Hasashi's just like, well then why don't you come and stay with me? And basically that just starts off their relationship. And eventually Hasashi figures out about all her different powers. And basically she's going to have what I'm going to have, you know, her basically have like all of the androids' powers and all of like the different Boo powers. Like all of the different forms of Boo and all of the different androids in Dragon Ball Z. And even Dragon Ball, like whatever powers Ader had. Like, you know, Android 8 from Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball. She's basically going to have like all of the android powers and all of the Boo powers. The different versions of Boo and the different androids. And yes, that includes the different versions of Cell. And to an extent, it also includes Super 17, even though he's not canon. I mean, still, he could be a thing. I mean, it's not a thing, but it could be a thing, so Super 17 is an android, so yes, I would include his powers. Plus, he has that really cool attack in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, where he just takes his hand off and goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I really like that attack. It's really cool. And his ultimate's pretty cool. Like, like, like the freaking, like, ball of, like, holy shitness that he like, fires from his hands. I mean, it's like Baby's Revenge Death Ball, but, you know, Super 17 makes it look a lot cooler. Plus the sound effect. It sounds like King Ghidorah on crack. Basically, including Super 17, all of the androids, and also including all of Cell's forms. Basically, so regular androids and biological androids, because that's what Cell is, you know, and so yeah. And all of the different forms of Boo, that's including like pure evil Boo and like just all of the different forms of Boo. Yeah, because she's Majin Android. She's a Majin and she's an android, so why not? And she's like the final boss of Fighters slash Fighter Z, like whatever. So she's deserving of having those powers. Or at least, you know, she would be if she wanted to. But she makes it very clear to Sashi early on in their like little puppy love relationship that she is not someone who delights in fighting. She is actually against violence. She is an anti-violence person, a very anti-violence person. And she would even like to give herself like some sort of alias if it meant that she could get away from her past as being an assistant to All For One and all of his like deviant plans, like devilish plans. And Sashi's like, Well, we would have to think of an alias first. And so eventually the alias of Inko Midoriya, because, eventually they do get married, Hasashi and Majin and 21 do end up getting married. And on the same day in which they get married is the same day in which, like, the alias is made official. She is officially Inko Midoriya. Well, that's her new alias, that's her new name. That she basically made sure that that's what it was. Because she wants nothing to do with any of her past, violence. However, she does keep one specific power: telekinesis. Like, a specific, like, psychic, like, range of ability. Like, something to defend herself, like, if she had to, absolutely had to. Like, per Hasashi's request, I mean, it would make sense. Like, Hasashi's like, it would make sense, right? Plus, would get at I got this, like, job request, and it's all the way over in the States, and we'd be able to make a lot of money over that, and I would be able to help you guys have a really good life. And whenever he says, like, you guys, Inko knows what he means because, like, they both already know that she's pregnant by now. And so, basically it's just not a lot of time after that. Inko finally gives birth. However, she realizes her son actually, should it be a son or should it be a daughter? Actually, I'm going to say it's a daughter. But should I change the name? Izuku. Actually, I came up with something clever, guys. Instead of Izuku, it's Izuka. So basically, instead of Izuku Midoriya, it's Izuka Midoriya. Because it's going to be a girl version. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the whole Joker what if. And I'm going to have it to where, like, there are two, like, different sides to this. And, like, for the Joker one, I'm doing the villain side story first. The villain story side first. And, for this, I'm actually going to flip it around. For this, I'm going to do the hero side story first. For this, I'm going to do the hero story side thing first. And then the villain after. So basically, I flipped it upside down for this one. But for the Joker what if, it's going to be the other way around. Anyways, this isn't the Joker one. This is going to be the Majin Android 28 one. And basically, Izuka, because her basically a girl, name change. Instead of Izuku, it's Izuka. And, well, basically, she does figure out that she does have a quirk. Actually, she has two quirks. She has a half and half quirk. Basically, what the doctor says is the two quirks she has are like gateways into like ravines, like entire like oceans of power, like different powers. Like one is more of a scientific side and one is more of a magical side. And whenever Inko hears this, she's like, oh god, no. Because that's basically kind of how she was created, like scientific influence and like some sort of magical influence, like used to create her. And it's just like, oh god, no. And, Izuka is just like, So what am I gonna call my quirk? And for those of you who are wondering, like, since I'm doing the hero version, like, they're probably not going to have the chocolate beam, right? Wrong. All powers. Both sides. All powers. Of both versions. Like, both, like, sides. Like, the Majin and the Android. Like, all powers. For both versions. Like, hero and villain. But you guys are probably like, but then, like, what's going to happen once, like, they've been turned into, like, candy or whatever? I'm just gonna say that she can, like, like, de-transform them. Because, it's her quirk, it's her powers. Technically, she has two different quirks. Like, one, it's like she has two different sides. One side is her Majin powers, and the other side is her Android powers. That's basically how the doctor explains it. Like, one side is the more magical based side, which would be her Majin powers, and the other side is the more scientific based powers, which would be her Android powers. And, basically, stuff like that would be kind of like Android 17's barrier that he can do, and like in Tenkaichi, like basically in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, like Android 18 can do the Destructo Disc, like her own version of it. So why have Izuku not be able to do like the Destructo Disc, like their own version of it? Izuka. I meant to say Izuka. Like, so Izuka would be able to use her own version of the Destructo Disc. Because, 18 can do that in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, so. And I really like that game, so. Yeah, hell yeah. And, seeing as it's all androids, like, Android 16's like, Rocket Punch! Like, that would be something. Like, Boo's always been known to separate, like, the body parts, or, like, elastic. And that one guy, how he died, like, Jesus. Like, damn. It's like a freaking horror movie. It's like we're watching The Thing, or like some shit. And, just like John Carpenter's The Thing, where like, that's just scary. Like, good God. All of a sudden, Dragon Ball Z became a horror movie. And so basically, yeah, it's like Rocket Punch from like Android 16 because of the Majin DNA, she'd be freely able to like separate her body parts if she wanted to, or even if they were cut off, she could like make new ones, or like have her just be able to plop the old body part back on. Yeah, like she's like she would be able to do that, you know. So it would just be crazy. And whenever we talk about like Android 20, like Dr. Gero, and like Android 19, like you like they have the whole like eye laser thing and the ability to steal energy. Yeah, that's something that you guys probably wouldn't think would be like a hero thing, like being able to steal someone's life force. And then there's like the whole eye beams. Yeah, she can do that because she has all of the android powers and all of the Majin powers. And, Cell's whole thing is that he's all of the Z Fighters, so he would have their stuff. So yeah, she could even pull into that, because that's part of Cell. And Cell, I mean, he may be biological, but he is a biological android. And if it's an android, she's gonna. So she would also have, like, Ader's, like extreme rough and toughness. Like, Ader, Android 8, from, like, OG Dragon Ball. And if we're talking, like all of Boo's different powers, like That's like insanity. I really don't think that it would be a good idea to try to list off all of the android powers and all of Boo's, like the different Boo powers. But seeing as Oob is a like the reincarnation, like the good reincarnation of the original Majin Buu, which is Kid Buu, you know, even though this would be Dragon Ball GT Oob, and so non-canon, but still I don't care. It's a part of Dragon Ball history, so I don't care. He would still have the Majin powers. So he'd be like Kamehameha, because all of the Boos can pretty much, I'm sure, can do that. And he'd be able to use like the lightning arrow, like the like firing it, and then it would come back down. Like he'd be able to do the lightning arrow, and it would just it's gonna be a lot of fun doing this. What if I could just tell from all the different powers Izuku's gonna have. And actually, that's where I'm going to end this what if off, like this part of this what if off, because I'm having a hard time breathing how excited I am. So, anyways, Alan Xenodalsis, because the Dark Side of Maverick is OUT out of here. Yeah, boys. Bye.